Hey, welcome to Motion RC Live. I'm your product specialist, Wesley. Welcome, everybody. It's a little later in the day than normal, but we had a new product come across the desk this week, and we've been filming all of the informative videos you've come to expect here at Motion RC. But today we're going to do a little live overview of it, answer any questions you might have. At the beginning here, we're going to kind of hold back on the questions until a little bit later in. I may explain some of your questions you might have on the new model as we go about it. So today we are going to be checking out the Freewing 4S F-22 version 2. You can see I actually have the big one sitting here beside it, but it does have an all new paint job on it. There's actually a whole new fuselage mold for this model to get some new improvements into it. The little F-22 has definitely been one of our popular 64mm offerings, and now we're bringing all the new features of our newer 64s into some of our older models. So this does now have also thrust reverse, which is a really cool feature. But before we get too far into it, when you get yours, the first thing we're going to need to do is build our model, and we have a small little clip it here to show you how it goes together. So Lori's going to get that queued up momentarily, and we'll go through this together, how the airplane comes out of the box and goes together. So as you can see, standard Freewing packaging. It comes out of the box all painted for you with the decals installed on the model. You've got your landing gear and other hard points. And as you can see, that new paint job really looks good on the model. Helps it give that scale detail that you've come to expect from our Freewing models, especially on our larger models. It's really cool. This has the same paint job as the big airplane now. As you can see, all those scale details painted right on the model, right out of the box. You've got your nice pilot. The wing connectors built in right there, so it's easy to take them on and off if you need to when you go to the field. You've got the cooling vents on the bottom for your ESC, and you can see your steerable nose wheel. So your first step in the process is going to be getting your wheels put on. They all just screw in with the 4 screws provided in the kit. If you decide to fly with them, you can always fly the model without them on the model also if you want to go hand toss. This is a great little airplane to practice your high alpha maneuvers, and if you have a grass field, no problem hand launching and landing it in the grass. As you can see, those 4 screws going in just like that. Welcome everybody that's here on the live show today, checking this out with us. Next step in the process is to get your wings installed. You just got your standard servo connector there. Make sure you plug it in yellow to yellow, brown to brown, and then slide that excess wire into the fuselage, then slide and key in your wing. Then it has these washer type screws that go in from the top to get it affixed onto the model. For customers that like our build videos, we will have a polished build video coming out on this hopefully tomorrow. Lori's getting it edited right now as we speak. But yes, there you go. You get those 4 screws into the wing to get the model put together. Now we need to put our elevator halves on. This is a full flying stab even on our 64mm offering, which is really cool to see. You just slide them in, put that one small screw in, and that affixes them to the model. Then you're going to flip it over and slide your 2 rudders in, and then you have 2 screws that go in from the bottom to hold your rudders on. This is going to help customers that ever have an accident, they can get it fixed. Then we're going to be putting our control linkages on and firing up the model. And then we'll be back here to the table showing you. All right, bring it back to me. And here it is in its full form. So it's a very easy build, or assembly I should say. Nothing too complicated on this model as far as getting it together. I did put one of our Radtron Futaba receivers inside of this to power mine with, so I will be flying it on my Futaba radio system. So let's start going into some of the features of the V2 that separate it from its original counterpart. The original airplane was 3S or 4S capable. on this model, we're going to be 4S only now. So this has an all new power system. Lori, if you've got that queued up there, there you go. Let's bring this onto the screen for a second. You can see on the, brain's not working. Left, there we go. On the left, that's the old power system. And this was one of the mold changes on the model. As you can see on the right-hand side, we have the new power system in the model. This is the 4S only system with the thrust reverse, but we had to make a mold change on the model in order to get this new fan unit in. So for customers that have the old model, your fan will not work in the new version. So if you need to replace your fuselage, you're going to need the power system. So at that point, it may be more cost effective to go on and get just the whole new model. The wings and everything do still fit though. So let's go to that next slide, Lori. What do you have there? So this is our paint job differences between the old model and the new model. As you can see, the old model didn't have the camo on it, and it had a little bit milkier of a finish to it. So the new paint job has the camo that mimics its big brother, the 90mm F-22 here. As you can see, that's a nice new paint job on it. It really cleaned up the model, made it look a little bit more like the big brother. So let's go to that next slide. The nose. Okay, so this was another one of the changes in the mold right now. That's okay, give me just a minute. So right now, the mold changes to the fuselage. We also have a new plastic nose cone on the airplane. It is not removable, but it is nice to have that plastic tip now to protect that model if you have it leaned up in the corner or whatever, and it also gives it a nice clean scale look on the front. All right, next one. Oh yep, there's another shot of that new nose. As you can see, it really gives it a lot better scale fidelity there up on the nose of the model. And like I said, that protection that you've wanted to have that plastic nose cone. So let's come back to me real quick. Hi guys. So anyway, Lori did let me know that we had 2 questions right now. I want to make sure we don't miss anything as we're going through stuff today. So what were the questions that I didn't see there?
Just one question. Is there gear upgrades?
Is the gear different? As far as I am aware of, the gear are exactly the same as they were on the old one. They are still just fixed. This is a 64mm model. As you can see, they are rare. They are plastic cladded and detailed. Let me see if I can hold that one up there for you guys to see. They do have that little suspension piece that's mimicked on there. It's not actually suspension. This is still a 64mm model. We try and keep these to a very nice price point for you. They are removable though if you want to go hand launch and have the gear off of the model.
And are the spare parts available? They're not currently.
They are coming. The spare parts for it now. I will let you know the wings and everything from the version 1 do fit on the new fuselage, but they're going to be different colors. That's going to be the issue. If you're repainting, it's not going to be as big a deal to you, but we do have a full list of parts availability coming for this model. They just haven't hit the website yet from the look of it. Does it have lights? No, there are no lights on this model. Like I said, this is a 64. If you want lights, you can always go to the larger model. I have sitting here beside me, this is our 90mm F-22 here beside us. This one's really focused more for our entry-level pilots, guys that fly smaller fields, parks. We try and keep these at a more inexpensive price range, so no lights on it at this time. Just check in. So yeah, anyway, parts availability, it's a standard Freewing model. We're just getting them all in. We're getting them put up there. There will be parts available. But if you do want this model, it is in stock and they are shipping now. So you can go on motionrc.com and get these right now if you want one. What else, Lori? Let's see. And as always, I have my beautiful camera girl sitting off to the side here, Miss Lori. Let's see. Do we have a picture of the inside of this queued up?
I do.
Let's get a shot of the battery bay pulled up for just a second so you can see the layout in there. That is with a 4S 2200 LiPo. This is one of our Pro Packs, so one of our larger 2200s. As you can see, you have plenty of room to slide it back towards the back in the battery bay. You also have your front nose gear steering servo there, and then up in the front, all your wires are ran up to where you can put your receiver right up in the nose there. There's actually a little wood tray to mount to, And as you can see, I've got my Radtron. It's a little bit of an overkill for this airplane. I had an 8-channel Radtron in here. You don't need anything that big. Let's see, it's I believe 4 channels total if I remember correctly. 5 because you want thrust reverse. So you'll need at least 5 channels to take advantage of all the features of this model. But that's how the inside of it is laid out. You can come back. Anyway, and as you can see, it is magnetic. So I've got it here on the table. There's the canopy. You have a nice pilot inside and a nice interior. Shouldn't bubble too bad for you if it's left out in the sun. And as you can see, there it is in all of its glory. Right there. All right, what's our next question?
What is the power difference, and does it truly have more thrust?
Yes, so it is a all-new in-runner power system. So the original power system for the F-22 was an outrunner in the version 1. Now, like we said, it's upgraded to an in-runner power system. I guess let's pull the spec page up real quick. I know we've got that queued up, and we can actually go over some of the specs here. Let's let Lori get those up on the screen for a second. I can't see them from here to read out the numbers to you, but there's the actual specifications on the new motor and power system. You can always go to motionrc.com, right to our product page. We list all this information for you there. I know a lot of guys have really enjoyed this V1 on the original power system. I actually had one, and it was a lot of fun. It was a high alpha monster. But now that you're going to be on this new 4S power system, the power to weight ratio is going to be much more. And I am planning on going out and flying this today. So as soon as we get done with this video, that's my plan. I wanted to just come in here and show you guys, as we were getting it together, some of the new specs and features of the new model. But yeah, if you're curious about the exact KVs or anything, they're all listed right on our product page right now, where you can go in and take a look at them. But yes, this is the new upgraded power system for it. Do we have any other questions at the moment? I've got my questions down here in the comments too. I'm trying to look through here.
Just someone asking about flight time. We haven't flown it yet?
Haven't flown it yet, but it should be probably 3 to 4 minutes. It's a standard EDF. We'll definitely check that out though and do a full battery report after the first flight. With all the tail feathers, there's no need for weight or cost of ailerons. Well, you know, we like to give people the options on as far as that goes. Now, I've seen some guys split the tail and do tailerons and then do flaps on their ailerons instead of doing this. So if you split your channels out, you can actually put, you know, one in every port. You could run tailerons with flaps, and then you can have a full featured model still at this inexpensive price. So it's nice to have all of that. It's all the questions I see so far. So like I said, as we go about this, guys, let me know anything you want to know. I know we also had, I saw it in the customer community on Facebook, we had a gentleman, Mark Ruby, actually messaged out to me, and I wanted to show you this. I haven't seen very many custom painted small F-22, so let's pop this up on the screen. Check this guy's paint job out. He painted it to look like a Corvette, and I really was digging this. So like I said, you don't see too many of the 64 millimeters get a repaint, but Mark Ruby, that is an awesome paint job you got on that one. Looks like he even went in and detailed all the panel lines and everything with a black marker or something, but awesome. And I love how he painted the orange inside of the exhaust. So awesome job on that one. So yeah, guys, like I said, I see you all down in the comments here. Johnny, welcome. Thomas, welcome. Mike Bird, I see all you guys in there. Like I said, if you have any questions, let us know. I'm not going to stay live for the full hour that we normally do for our live shows. This is just an overview of this new product. I wanted to get it out there and let you guys know. It's hitting the website. It's ready to go. And a lot of you have really enjoyed these 64 millimeter planes. What's the price point? You can check it out on motionrc.com. I don't normally like to say it in videos just in case they change over time, but because these videos live on forever. But I'm sure, Laura, you could pop it up for right now if you wanted on the website. There's the product page for this model. So you can see right now it's $179 at the time of filming. But yeah, go check it out. It's a very reasonable price for these 64 models. Like I said, you get your thrust reversing, you get full flying stab. So this is actually a really full-featured model at this price. There you go. Lots of guys down in the comments. Good price, yeah. And I'm sure for our customers over in the EU, I haven't double checked yet to see if these are in stock yet, but they will be coming to the EU also, I'm sure. Yeah, Laura, if you want to double check and see if they're in stock yet there, you can. But yeah, good value for money. So anyway, we've been really having a lot of fun with F-22s lately, and if you wanted to see it, so here is the 90mm F-22. Let me clean the table off for just a second. I actually have it sitting here on the table also, if you just kind of wanted to see the two models together. I actually put a picture up over on the customer community too. But there is the 90mm F-22.
It's in stock.
There you go, it's in stock in the EU also now, with the little 64. And as you can see, the new paint job really fits it well. It really makes it look like the bigger brother of it. They have a very quality paint job to match now. Same insignias and everything. So if you've been wanting an F-22, there's no reason like this to get into an F-22 now. We have both. You know, somebody that wants to start in EDFs and is kind of scared of this bigger $600 model, you can get into this one now and start learning your EDF flying capabilities with a smaller model. But there you go, there they are together. They actually look really good together. I thought it was a pretty cool picture when they were together. But yeah, so there's that. All right, Lauren? Said you had a question?
Someone said they didn't see the unboxing. Is the box good for transport?
I wouldn't want to take this apart every time to put it back in the box, just because you have to screw the rudders on, you have to screw the elevators on. I actually have the box sitting right here. But, I mean, it comes in a pretty small box, I mean, compared to what we're used to with the larger ones. And like I said, tomorrow we're going to have the full unboxing and assembly polished video. Like I said, we're live here so I can answer your questions right now. But we will have a full unboxing assembly video coming out that will be polished like you've come to expect here. Comparable with the small FMS Rafale? Yeah, it should be, and it should do high alpha just as good. Any guys here in the comments that have had this airplane, it's a lot of fun. For high alpha, and that was on the Outrunner system. Like I said, this new Inrunner one, it's going to really push it around really well for high alpha. Just got it. There you go, Randy. Look at that. The small jets are fun, you know. I know a lot of guys want our bigger ones all the time, but sometimes it's fun to have these smaller ones. Not everybody has a big place to fly these large models off of, and that's where these 64mm really shine for guys to go out in their backyards or wherever else and be able to fly these. Any recommendations? Blue chair, well, you just got to check us out here at motionrc.com. That's where you're going to get it at. It's the only place to get it out in the United States. We are the Freewing distributor here. All right. I can't think of anything I missed to talk about, Lori. Can you, that I didn't hit today or touch? Like I said, we were just going to pop on for a little bit today and go over some of these new features and things before we go out and fly it here shortly. And I'm sure we're going to have a flight video up of it rather quickly. That's the plan at least. I just wanted to make sure we covered everything you guys wanted to know about this new model. For guys that are getting in late, we could go back and show those updated features one more time real quick. So if you'll pull those up one more time. Let's go over the major changes one more time for the guys that are getting in late from the version 1 to the version 2. So first one here is, it's an all new mold on the fuselage. The reason they did this was to accommodate the new 4S only power system. It's a little larger than the old one, and they had to make that accommodation to get that motor in there. So once again, if you have a version 1, the motor will not fit in the version 2. You will need to be upgrading to this, or like I said, just get a whole new model at that point if you're wanting to go to the V2. As far as the wings and everything are concerned, they will interchange between the two models, but the paint jobs are different. All right. once again, there's our paint job like we said before. The old paint job didn't really have the aggressive camo on it that the new one does. It stands out a lot better against the paint. It just gives it an overall better look to the model. And the nose was the other big change on the mold. Like I said, it's got a plastic nose now instead of that foam nose, so hopefully it'll keep it from crinkling up if you have a little bit of a nose over or lean it up in the corner. And as you can see, it gave it that really nice profile that the F-22 should have. And it just cleaned it up a lot, gave it a little more scale detail to it. It's a really good looking little model, especially for the size. Oh, and the battery bay. And for customers that wanted to see that too, that was the inside of the battery bay. That's a 2200 Pro pack in there, 4S. That's my Radtron receiver up in the front. Like I said, there's a little tray to mount your receiver to. Keeps everything good and secure up in there. Well, all right, guys. Like I said, I didn't want to take up too much of your time today. I just wanted to go over some of the new features of our version 2 4S F-22. It's a very good looking little model. Like I said, you can see it there with me. Nice size for a 64 millimeter. You can see the 64 millimeter F-16 up here in the corner and our Banshee up here. So it's another great addition to the lineup. Really close to the same size as that F-16 actually. And I'm really enjoying it. So if you enjoyed today's show, don't forget, like, share, subscribe, all those good words that we always tell you. Don't forget you can check us out over on the Motion RC Facebook customer community. I'm always in there. I'm always trying to watch it and answer questions as much as I can, along with our fellow hobbyists. And I think that's going to wrap it up for today if there's no other questions. It's been a lot of fun hanging out with you guys today, and I hope to see you in the next video. We'll see y'all later, guys. Bye.